Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Age of Darkness Final Stand. We just finished out another Death Knight, and I actually did have to move forward a few more seconds just to save the game. You can't save during a Death Knight, but it meant I picked up my blessing in between videos. Sorry about that. What we've got here is rigged defenses. Any buildings destroyed by the nightmares have a 60% chance to inflict AoE damage to enemies. Against giant waves, that could be good. One thing I don't know is if that actually applies to things like walls, because if so, that's unbelievably good. If not, it does mean that even if they do break through some layers of defenses, once they destroy towers, they take out huge numbers of enemies with them, which sounds pretty good. Looks like we might be about to lose this gold mine over here. I've got a couple archers on the way, but we'll see if that lasts. Now I just need to continue with what I've been doing, which is clearing out the map. We're making lots and lots and lots of money, which is great. All of my economy is looking outstanding. I think the only upgrade I'm losing at this point is just to finish out the infantry. So we could have reflect damage, bursts of speed, or removed horrified state. I guess we have a 20% chance of reflecting damage. And that's all of my units upgraded on top of everything. So we should be finished out in terms of tech and everything else, honestly. So really what's left? The answer is just continue expanding across the map and find lots and lots of good choke points. I've created a second kill squad over here, by the way. So these guys, bunch of hunters plus a few archers, can just march around slowly when I'm not paying attention and clear out a bunch of enemies. I'm going to start building out another neighborhood in this general area, and hopefully this ends up being the right call and not a horrible blunder. I don't know. I feel like this area should be fairly low priority by the enemy, at least until the final waves start coming in. So if we want to take over this area over here, it should be relatively easy to do. I've got a wall over here just in case I make a mistake and something starts to sneak up on me, but I really don't think so. I think we'll be fine. Normally by this point of the game, I'm looking for a second layer of defenses, right? We'll have fortified so well in some locations, like this one right here, that it's time to start moving forward to a place like this and get a second round of defenses, but I'm not seeing a lot of really obvious choke points. So if I find myself with a gross excess of funds and I am just obesely wealthy, and by obesely I mean obscenely, sorry, then at that point, maybe I just start placing down some throwaway static defenses and not commit too many mobile units there. The idea being, yeah, it's expensive, but we'll use that just to slow down big waves and force them to kind of trickle through one at a time. So the idea of that is, right, you set up like one wall here and then one wall over here. And it slows down all the enemies in this area, but down over here, if any enemies spawn, they get to run all the way through. So you deal with all of them. By the time that these guys finish up their walls, then they're ready to move on, and you've had time to actually relocate your army to deal with them. So you kind of stagger the waves a little bit. Sometimes it works out that way, sometimes it doesn't. It's entirely dependent on the luck of the map. Oh, what else to continue building? More impalers is always a good idea, sitting on a lot of population and stuff. One thing we could do is plan on just training up a bunch of simple archers. That uses up all my cash. The idea behind that, though, is I'll just set up some towers. They're smaller than the ballista towers, so it's easier to fit a few of those in the cracks where I have a little extra space and some defensive points. And we'll just let them rain some extra death. And honestly, with the fire upgrade, I'm pretty sure those archers can do a pretty substantial amount of damage, too, so they'll be useful for sure. Another night comes and goes. We're making solid progress as we get through the map. There are still some other elites that we have not been able to deal with yet, and leaving behind an army to deal with them is going to be very, very irritating, but might be what we end up needing to do. I'm not too sure yet. Regardless, though, we're getting kind of close to the point where you should have cleared out most of the map. There's probably an enemy crystal over here, if I had to guess, and at least one more up in this corner. That's where I kind of anticipate that we're going to continue having some issues, so what I'll probably do is continue using this kill squad to slowly poke around in this area. And we're capped out on literally every resource right now. Except for people, really, but we can train up a bunch more stuff. How about just a bunch more hunters? I mean, it would be very intriguing to play with the rogues. It would. But, like, what do I need with the rogues? Why do I need stealth mode? Why do I need to steal coins from the nightmares? The answer is, I really don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. I'm curious if we can do the same range trick against this elite crusher. It sure as heck looks like he doesn't care about me too much. Now I'm worried about him accidentally drawing me too far in, then we have a bit of a problem. Ah, don't destroy this thing. Whatever, fine. But yeah, if we're careful, maybe we can still take him down somehow. I want to get rid of the big guy. He's the scariest thing on the map by far. He's got a lot of health. No, it keeps resetting. The way things are right now, there's just too many enemies around causing issues. I can't get a good, clean shot on him without having to pull back. We're going to have to come back to him a later night, I think. No way around it. Same thing with this Elite Wraith, which also scares the frick out of me. Those things are awful. Whoa, okay, this is a big raid that's sneaking through. Good news is we'll be fine with all of our towers and ballista around, but even so, how annoying is that? Oh, and there's the crystal. Sure enough. I told you there was going to be one over here. This is where it's coming from. This Blood Knight, or Death Knight, whatever. Great. I'm going to go ahead and create a quick watchtower. Why can't I? Don't know. I'm not allowed to. Oh, it can't be too much in range of the other one. That's fine. What I want to see is just what path it's going to take. That's all I want to do is reveal the path so I know where I need to reinforce. I'll happily dismantle it afterwards. It's not really revealing it to me. Not yet anyway, not until it's about to spawn. They might attack here, they might attack here. I feel like it's one of the two. So regardless, we want to pull all of our troops back. I've got a lot of resources, so I guess now's as good a time as any to go ahead and start really stacking on some upgraded towers. So let's think. This is actually a pretty decent spot for a choke point. So if I wanted to set up, let's say, a bellows tower along here, plus some grand ballista behind, that wouldn't be a terrible arrangement. Honestly, this might be one of the rare waves that actually splits itself, like, preemptively. It might actually attack both places, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's going to come down this way, it's going to cross through here, and this is where it might split, either direction. And I've really got no idea what to expect there, but I also know I don't have a ton of money to work with.
Upgrade complete.
Because amazingly, despite the fact that I was at full gold a little bit ago, once you build a few grand ballista towers, that advantage goes away pretty darn quick. Alright, moment of truth on its way. I love how the music changes, by the way. Like, it's all dark and mysterious, and then once you get down to the last 45 seconds, you start getting kind of that little thrumming heartbeat sort of a sound. It's not really that exactly, it's more of a rrr, 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 but still. There's a lot of scientific study that shows how music can impact your mood and put you on edge. It's one of the reasons that something like Jaws is such a brilliant film. This hunter is completely trapped. I don't know how you did this. You're inside the wall. Are you invincible? You might be for all I know. All right. Crystal go boom. Crystal go boom. All right. We're going to have, I don't know, like 8,000 or more nightmares. They're going up a little bit. Weaken. Units don't regenerate. Shouldn't be an issue. I assume you're going here. Tell me you're going here. Because if you're not, that's going to be a huge problem. Where else could they go? They're not going to go all the way up this way. No. They're going to go hit here. For sure. They're totally going to go hit here. Yeah, they don't like these fire sconces over here, so they're going to get distracted on that for a second, then they're definitely going to come hit me over here. All right, so good news is, didn't need this after all. Turns out, big unnecessary investment, but nonetheless, we're going to be happy to have this in the future, I suspect. And, yeah, let's just hope that this lasts as well as it did last time. A couple little stragglers going to go around and destroy some fire sconces and stuff. Always very annoying, but that's fine. Lay down some fresh caltrops and always get a good solid snipe off right down the middle wherever you can. Okay, now one problem with this is they're able to get an angle where they're bombarding the crud out of my walls. And these spitters in particular are going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, technically they've actually broken through the wall now, and they're able to start punching my towers, which is scary. And if the spitters start getting in here to do enough damage, they can start killing off my rangers because they are all stacked up in one nice little clump right now, which is obviously extremely dangerous. I'm going to try to repair this wall non-stop as much as I can whenever we clear some space, because every little bit of extra hit points like that is going to hopefully give me a little bit more time. Oh boy, they're really going ham here. It's the Crushers, dude. It is purely the Crushers. If we didn't have to worry about these guys, we'd be fine. All right, something I'm going to do, which I wasn't planning on, but we're going to go ahead and grab these Flamers. I trained up for exactly this kind of an emergency, and we're going to push them up over here, because if these guys do manage to break down more of the walls, which it sure looks like they're going to, having the knockback of the Flamers pushing these guys out of here, especially the small ones, is actually going to be very big for me. Oh, man, I don't know if I've lost any units here at this point, but it sure feels like I must have. Oh, God. I need the hero to get a little bit closer to the front, if possible, because him having the extra range with things like the caltrops is pretty helpful. Oh, man, they're really starting to hit me hard here. Holy crap. Holy crap, though, for real. I'm trying to stun them using my impalers wherever possible. I'm creating a fallback wall over here as well, just in case. But it just ain't enough. Good God. This is the kind of moment I'm talking about. This 5 seconds of raw damage being put out by the hero is such a huge win for me right now. Look at that. We just clear ourselves so much more space. I can actually start repairing the gate just for a few seconds. It's not much, but I'll take anything I can get. And there goes the gate. All right, so this is where things start to get real bad. Real bad. A crusher alone is probably what's going to kill me here. The flamers are in the front, sort of, so they're definitely keeping some of these guys back. The Horrify's looking absolutely atrocious right now. I'm hoping that the Crusher's going to be so distracted by the tower that he doesn't come after the units. Some units are almost certainly going to die. Probably. Okay, he's doing Horrify things, but this is why we have sconces. There go some units. Keeping them down, though. Only a few hundred remaining. Only a few hundred remaining. Good God, this has been one heck of a wave. Which is how it's supposed to be, right? You want this to happen. You want the game to be tough like this. I just wish the dang Crushers didn't exist, that's all. Ah, we lost the Fire Bellows at the last second. Only a few of these guys left. And we lost that at the last second. Wow, look how many resources are sitting around here for me. Woo! Daybreak approaches. What do we get for a blessing? The next Dark Crystal is revealed early. No, thank you. Champions, no. Vision radius, yeah, I guess I'll take that. Sure, it pushes the darkness back and just makes the sconces and stuff better in general. All right, we're gonna have to go on cleanup duty because, well, once I took down some sconces, look at this, a whole bunch of new enemies spawned, because of course they did. These guys are so irritating. The final stand is approaching! We have 10 minutes, only 10 minutes to finish everything. I do not have enough gold. I am not even kidding. I do not have enough gold. Oh, crumbs. This is going to be a bit of a problem. So we can see at least some of the paths heading toward us, so we know that they're going to hit me here. Not here, but here. We know we're going to get hit here, which makes sense. Looking for other signs of stuff. I don't know. Wait a minute. Does this not... Why are these revealed over here, but nothing's revealed by this one? I feel like this thing should have enough range to tell me if something's coming, but apparently not. Yeah, maybe we're never going to get attacked over here. We can confirm that. We can confirm that. Let's use this moment to try and build up the watchtower and just move it in a couple locations. And we're going to do some scouting, basically, to try to figure out where we're going to get hit so I don't waste my gold, because we don't have a lot to spare right now. So, I'm thinking about this a bit more, and I think we might be in a lot of trouble, actually. So here's what's going to end up happening, right? We've got 5 points where we know that they're going to spawn. These little blue dots over here where the crystals used to be, that's where the final waves are going to hit. Which means, I think, that this location is going to hit over here as well. So we're going to get 2 waves in one spot. And the giants, the crushers, are literally going to obliterate me. So we've got to figure out what the heck we're going to do about this location in order to fortify it. I think the only thing I can afford to do at this point is to start tearing down defenses wherever it's not actively needed in order to afford reinforcing the right spots as heavily as possible. And we might need to invest aggressively in training up more arbalists, or I guess in this case hunters, which is unfortunate because I've done a bit of reading on this beforehand, and it looks like everyone agrees the Rebellion is actually the weakest of factions because they don't get arbalists, they get these hunters, which really just aren't good enough, apparently. But anyway, so I'm going to be trying to look for defenses where I can tear down stuff that's no longer needed. Like this, for example, over here. I'll get rid of this ballista tower. Yes, this is where a big wave comes in, but here's the thing. By selling this, we refund the entire cost of the building. That's something they actually changed in one of the later patches. So I don't feel bad about selling this, plus let's say a gate and a couple walls over here. We're only going to be losing out on some stone and wood. The gold goes right back into my coffers. So if we're going to worry about repositioning a bunch of my towers and stuff, like, this is the time to do it. I also think I'm going to get rid of my gates. At this point, we really shouldn't be traveling out anymore, and one tile of wall has 1,500 hit points as opposed to a gate, which has 3,000 across 3 tiles, which makes it a bit weaker. It has a little bit more armor, I guess, so there is something to be said about that, but I think that going for just a bunch of walls is probably going to have a little bit much more HP. The strategy that I'm going for right now is to basically start building up some towers for actual archers, because if possible, I think that a couple of arbalists to help shred enemies and then the DPS from archers is going to be a decent combination. At least from my understanding is the way the mechanics work as of late, so we'll see if that ends up being correct. The fact that I can sell these buildings is honestly kind of a huge deal. I'm very happy about that. So what I want to do then is, I know giants are going to be the main threat. They're going to tear through these walls, no problem at all. What I'm going to need to do is have some impalers up toward the front to hopefully start stunning and knocking back them and other enemies. Grand ballista towers to shred through small guys. Fire bellows to help deal with some of the trash. And then mainly just arbalists in towers. With the archers, as I was saying, to single target down any giants that come through. I'll probably have to go through here and manually click on these and right-click on the giants, shred their armor, burn them down as fast as possible. As long as you can deal with giants, I think I can build enough defenses to survive this. But if I can't deal with the giants, I think I'm doomed from the get-go. And I've just got to keep training up more arbalists. There's no way around it. I need these guys. A bunch of arbalists is the only thing. Well, again, I say arbalists. Hunters is the only thing that is going to be able to shred down the giants enough to make any difference whatsoever. Like, literally, I don't think the ballista can handle them. They fire too infrequently. Heck, I'm not even confident the hunters can handle them. But if they can shred the armor just enough for the archers to do their job, I don't know. Maybe I have a chance. I don't feel good about this. I'm also doing something kind of cheeky over here. I'm going to be building up little pockets of areas where I can place these impalers for the DPS and the stun up close to the wall. Then I'm placing down some towers or something that's also in range, but also locks these guys in position, so they're going to be in a nice, tight, compact area up toward the front. That means there's no retreat, but honestly, if we get to the point where all these walls fall that completely, I'm already in a lot of trouble. Yes, I know. The final stand's approaching in 1 minute and 49 seconds. It's nowhere near enough time. Nowhere near enough time! Prepare your army! Yeah, I'm trying. I still don't have enough walls in some locations. Some areas are definitely weaker than others. I can't get enough gold. What I might need to start doing is literally finding a bunch of things outside of the walls that I'm not expecting I'm going to be able to keep. For example, down along here, I'm about positive I'm not going to get to keep things like this iron mine or this food or whatever else. We may want to start just getting rid of those in favor of money, because that's what matters. I've got a little bit of time to get the last round of defenses up and running. Okay, I'm trying to think what else I can do that'll make this better. I'm not going to have food for very much longer, I guarantee it. Once we get attacked, that's going to be pretty much it. They're going to destroy all the farms outside of the walls. So if I want to train any additional hunters, this is literally my last chance. That's all of the food. So what I think I could do next, weird as it is just accept that's the reality of it, and start deleting farms for a bit of cash. And for the cash, we can go for a last round of wall upgrades. Unfortunately, we're then completely out of stone, but this is where I'm making about 175, and that obviously helps. We got 4 layers of wall over there, not quite enough over here. With the iron being what it is, that may not get much better. But I'll build out at least a couple walls there. I just want to distract as much as possible, really. So a couple walls here and there doesn't really matter. Even if it spots in a few areas, it just slows them down. Alright, here goes nothing. They are on their way, ladies and gentlemen. They're coming! Prepare for the final stand. This is it. Roll credits. No, not yet. Let's try to win first. Oh my god, 33,000 nightmares. Alright, they're spawning where I thought. These are all tier 3 enemies, hence why they're a big scary red color. They're going to come through and attack pretty much everything over here. Before they destroy things, it makes sense to sell it, because you still can refund the full cost like so, and it still distracts them at least for a little bit. And here they come for the first wave. Okay, flame towers, do your thing. Towers! micromanage, right-click on these. I've told every tower, every unit that I've got capable of shred and serious DPS to always target the strongest enemy, which I'm hoping are going to be the Crushers. Within just a few volleys, these guys should lose their armor, like so, and then the stuns are certainly going through. That said, it's not quite enough, as far as I can tell. These guys are still doing a freaking ton of damage. Holy crud. How do you survive against so many gosh dang giants? That's what I want to know. It's a lot of enemies. So far, we're sort of holding the line a little bit, though. Anything else that I could do in the meantime? These guys are getting trapped up, which means when these guys hit, that's going to be a massive wave of enemies hitting here. This is easily my most vulnerable spot. Like, without any doubt at all, this is the most dangerous spot. Even with all the defenses I've got here, including the hero, by the way, I brought him down here because we're going to need the most help in that location. This is probably the area I'm the second most worried about. This area, probably the third. Here come the first giants. This area is not good, but so far no sign of giants, which is good. And wow, yeah, they are wrecking these walls so stupidly fast. Man, it is so unfair. It is unfair how good these giants are with all of that freaking health. Holy crap. What's most annoying is having to pause and get out here and basically micromanage every darn unit, or every tower, to make sure that they're always targeting a giant when they become available. I just have to keep cycling through these constantly in order to make sure I'm doing the maximum amount of damage and just burning these suckers down. What I'm probably going to have to do is start planning on some fallback areas, especially over here. If I can afford to start placing, let's say, a gate plus some walls and then some defenses, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this area at all, for the record. I have been told, by the way, that the Rebellion is considered to be the weakest faction, mainly because they don't have access to proper catapults like the Order faction does, which is supposed to be really, really, really good in all circumstances in the final wave, which makes sense. It's just like they are billions and the Thanatos is so gosh darn OP, same concept. Well, here we are. Struggling mightily. Now, granted, once the giants are done, we do a freaking ton of damage over here and we can shred through these bad boys no problem. We've burned through not quite half, but almost half of the enemies at this point. And sure enough, the walls are starting to buckle in a few key areas. I'll try setting down a few extra defenses so we can pull back, but this area, once it collapses, is going to have 2 full waves falling down upon it, which is obviously going to be very, very difficult. They've already managed to break through this wave over here. So we're going to try to repair the towers as much as we can. If they keep getting much closer, I'm definitely going to do some Rain of Death with my hero units. Over here, how are we doing? For the most part, okay-ish, but we need to take out these spitters because they are going to be obliterating me. All these range units, man, they're adding up. They're adding up a lot. Oh, stop bringing more giants. God, when do you run out? All right, if there's ever a time to do some violent volleys, it probably is going to be about now. So let's go ahead and start clearing out a mess of enemies down there. Let's go for more snipes. You can definitely clear a lot of these guys out, which is great. Buying some more space here, which is also great, but it's not enough. Oh, God. Oh, God. Now, the problem also is things like some of my units, such as the Impalers, can't quite get in range to the degree that they need to. That's definitely part of the problem. They're not doing a bunch of stuns because they don't have a long range, which is another reason that the Rebellion ends up being one of the weaker factions, because they don't have very good siege engines. Starting to buckle over here, starting to buckle, but they're also starting to run out of gas a little bit. Hold on. Let's keep burning down these giants. Watch for giants. There's some over here, for example. Keep taking them out. Never stop focus firing the giants. I think they're out of giants on this side. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's another one. Gosh, dang it. Every time I think that maybe they're starting to run out. No, they have so much more heading my way. God! It's so unfair. You know, these giants didn't used to have armor. That's part of the problem. They really didn't used to have any armor to them, which made things a lot easier. But those days appear to be very gone. Come on, just keep burning down these giants. Keep burning down these giants over here. It's the 2 waves thing, man. If there weren't 2 waves over here, maybe we'd stand a much better chance. 2 in one spot, though. I'm kind of wondering if we should have maybe tried really hard to create a defensive wave over here and just met these guys as they spawned so that we couldn't have them both crash in on the same area. I don't know, that might have been a smarter way to go. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of too little too late at this point, ain't it? Actually, are we about to finish clearing out some of these waves over here? Hold on, there's only 3,000 of them left. Hold on. Okay, all of you guys, head down over here. Hold on. We might actually be able to stand against this. It's really tight, though. If we can just burn down some of these giants, this wave seems to be burning itself out. In fact, actually, hang on. Let's take all of you guys, move you over here temporarily. How are we doing over here? Okay, we're still struggling, but we're holding. We're okay, sort of. Let's burn down this last giant. There we go. Okay. There's still more heading over here, so we're not done there. But when you clear out a wave, that means I can start freeing up some units, and that's huge. That's absolutely massive. So, for example, I'm going to sell all of these towers. I'm going to take all of these guys over here, and I'm going to move them to a fallback position over this direction. And this area is about to fall. No more giants here yet. Let's keep using the hero effectively to burn down whatever we can in this area. We're holding, sort of. These towers are actually functioning as another layer of defense. We're actually really close. Hold on. We're really close to being able to do this. This area's burned itself out. Yes. Okay, hold on. Even if we can't get to the defensive point, if I can just hold out close to the keep, we're okay. And this place shouldn't have much left either. This giant is the last major threat. We've lost a handful of units in the process dealing with it because of the AoE damage, but that's now down. This is what's left. And that's not even that much. Holy crap, we actually might do this. Oh my god, this has been such an unbelievably rough mess of a wave, but if I was able to actually reposition all of my units and resources in order to do this, I'm gonna be so happy. Holy crap, there's only 16, we did it. Oh my god! I didn't think we were gonna pull it off, I really didn't. I thought that was it for sure. Holy crud. All right, let's get out here and gather some resources and stuff. Let's also not get too cocky and just kill off a bunch of enemies and stuff. Look at the knockback effect of the impalers once they actually can do that, though. Holy crud. Oh my god, we did it. I cannot believe we did it. I really thought for sure, looking at this, there was no way. You can see where we buckled under pressure, but we did okay over here, shockingly. We managed to hold here, which is actually really surprising. 2 waves here and we held it? Good God. The difference was definitely making some towers. I don't think Ballista could have done it. I think they did a great job clearing out a lot of the trash. But I think by themselves, there was no way that the Ballista could have done this. It's getting all of the hunters into some towers that made this even possible. Huge victory for me. Wow. Oh. There was so much micro. I know I cut a lot of that out in this video because watching me just bounce between points and like, okay, am I targeting the right thing? Am I targeting the right thing? Like at 4 different locations, really, again and again and again, is admittedly not the most exciting content for you. But for me, that was a stress trip right there. Holy crap, I think I'm actually sweating a little bit. Oh, 28 days, 6 death nights. Final score of 533,216 because we beat it on veteran difficulty with a score modifier of 2. And that was on the Rebellion faction, which is arguably the hardest faction to win on. Yes! I feel so good about that. We killed off almost 70,000 enemies by the end of this. Only lost 60 units, which I consider pretty good. 118 horrified. We did a really good job of keeping our units under control, I think, overall. That was not too bad. Wowzas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Age of Darkness Final Stand. It's tough. It's definitely a tough game. But I love that the factions are getting a bit unique. I really like the new Cyrus hero. I think he's pretty good. He's slow, and his recharge times on his abilities is a little bit painful at times, but he is pretty darn good. Only thing that sucks about the Rebellion, no catapults. If we had catapults, I think that would have been an absolute breeze. But oh well, we can always try out the Order faction another time, and perhaps more importantly, we can... Oh, I actually unlocked terrific difficulty. Fun. We actually can play with the Volatists sometime in the future as well. That would be great. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.